All right, welcome. The poor Raptor needs a little bit of love. So I bought it some new tires, new wheels and tires. And the beauty of a truck is that you can buy cast wheels and not have to worry too much about it. So a whole set of wheels and brand new tires is like $2,500, whereas one wheel on a GT3 is $2,500 without a tire. So I'm gonna take you through here. I need to get these kind of cleaned up and ready to put on the truck. And the Source Garage wheel stand isn't going to handle this 100-pound assembly, so I'm going to do it over the lift onto a piece of cardboard. Of course, the thing I always do is denib the tires, and unfortunately, truck tires like these BF K02s have like a bazillion nibs, but we're going to denib it. Then we're going to clean the tire, and then I'm going to clean and prep the wheel. And then the other thing I'm going to do is remove these zinc plated bolts I have on the other set of wheels. I have stainless bolts, and so we're going to swap them over. Those stainless bolts are like a couple $100. So I'm going to swap it from the old set of wheels over to the new. So these are mesh 306 is the style of wheel that these are from a company called Method, which is really common in the truck world. But Michelle still drives the Gen 1 Raptor everywhere she goes. We're selling the M5 because she doesn't want to drive it because it's too darn nice. And so what I want to do is get the Raptor now has 90,000 miles. The wheels are, they're okay, but they're a little beat up. And so I'd ordered these for Moderator's Weekend, and then we had to cancel it because of the virus stuff. So I've had them sitting over here for a few weeks. And so I figured today I'd get started on getting them prepped. And then I'm going to be doing a video series coming up soon of coating removal. The Raptor has Seacort's TiO2. It's had it on it for about 3 years now, and so we'll have to polish that off and refresh it. I've really neglected that truck, so it needs a little bit of needs a good interior cleaning, needs polishing, new coating install. Needs its glass treated and all of that stuff. So the plan is to sell some cars. We're going to be doing a giveaway on a couple of cars, and then that'll allow me to focus in on the cars that I have that have been neglected. We'll see. Plans change. They change rather quickly in my world. So I'm going to go through and take all these nibs off here. Let's get you a little tighter. Once these nibs are off, then we can start to clean. Whatever you do, you don't want to do nibs after the fact, especially after you dress the tire, because that's a pain in the butt to fix. So we'll just throw these on the ground. They'll go in and on and under the Swiss tracks, and I'll just grab the vacuum and suck them all up when it's done. When I'm done with the last wheel. So wheel coating, which is what we're going to do to these. I've tried all these different wheel specific coatings that are designed for higher heat and higher temp and all this stuff, and I've just never been happy with them. They never seem to work as well, meaning that there's not all the water behavior isn't great on them, with them, and it just doesn't seem to repel or do as well with dirt. And so I've been using whatever coating I'm using on the paint, the flagship coating from the paint, and putting it on the wheels. So we're going to do CSL EXO on this just like normal. So part of the reason I'd gotten K02s about, I don't know, 20,000 miles ago, something like that. they're starting to make a lot of noise. I really need to get an alignment on the truck. I never got an alignment, so the front two, I think there's probably too much toe, and so they're starting to wear a little unevenly. And so I'll be moving on to get new set and go get an alignment done, and then this will last us another couple of years. But the wheels are, what is it, 2013? My friend Charles put them on in 2013, so they're just a little beat up. And these are like 200 bucks a piece for new wheels. And the beauty of this, like I ordered this from Tire Rack, where they mount and balance them, so they're mounted, balanced, ready to roll. Like showed up at my door, so I don't have to go anywhere, which I really like. So I think shipped to my door was like mounted, balanced, ready to install. We'll check the pressures on them. They generally, the last set they sent, they dial the pressures way up, I guess for shipping, and so we'll check the pressures on them here in a minute. This will be a good little test. I'll show you the little silent piston compressor, how it can handle these tires no problem. But yeah, the ability to just order from the Tire Rack like this, not have to go anywhere and just install it on the truck. These also need a tool, like a TPMS reset tool, and so you pay an extra like 50 bucks and they send that with it and you're good to go. And I can do this at the convenience and comfort of my own home, my own garage, until someday I become rich and famous and get a mounting and balancing set, hunter set. And the Tire Rack uses black weights, so you'll be excited about that. Black wheel weights. A whole lot of nibs on this sucker. I'm sure I'm gonna miss a bunch of them. So I'll keep doing this. I'll come back to you in a minute and we'll work on the tire prep. Okay, we're de-nibbed now, and now I'm going to use some stoners on the tires to clean them up. I also want to try to get, I hate it when places don't take the sticker off. Why would you not? This increases the odds of us having a leak issue. There we go. There, at least now you can't see it. See what I'm talking about right here, it's right here, this darn sticker. Just kind of trimmed it back. All right. I'll always be finding, even after going over this 10 times, I still find ones that you missed. So I had a guy recently say, hey, you told me to use stoners. He didn't say that, but he's like, I used stoners and it messed up my finish on my wheels. And I said, well, people they tend to leave out the details. And I'm like, man, I've done like a lot of wheels. I've never had an issue. And I said, how long did you do it in the sun? He's like, nope, doing it in my garage. I was like, oh man. And I'm like, well, what type of wheels were they? They're like a satin or a matte black or something like that. I was like, okay. That's really odd because I've never had a problem. I've done, GT3 wheels, did a bunch of them. And I said, did you let it sit? He's like, well, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I said, 5 to 10 minutes? What do you think is going to happen? Of course it's going to ruin it. So don't leave it sit on there. So you could use mineral spirits as well. Learned that from Phil at Auto Fanatic. But I like this way much better. I feel like, I don't know what it is, but the mineral spirits kind of dries them out. Yeah, so that overspray, just wipe it off. Don't let it sit. And I find it'll take a little while for you to condition your tires. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna take a few cleanings to really get them where you want them. But this is a good initial prep to get all the soap and crap off of them and make them look somewhat acceptable.
And after a few cycles of full cleaning and tire dressing application, you'll be good to go.
It'll keep coming back for a while, especially on these big old tires. I'm gonna do like one wheel a day. Then we're gonna put the new OG tire dressing on and see how it does on big old truck tires. Yeah, so I just keep wiping the wheel. Make sure you don't let it sit, the overspray. I mean, you could tape it off. That'd probably be smart. I just never needed to do that. So I'm gonna make sure you don't get that on the M5 that's behind here. And these weren't particularly terribly bad with soap. So that's gonna be good enough. Then take our eraser. Hose it down pretty good. It's pretty slick. Big brain, little biceps, because holding up these tires is not easy. So I also have for these Chief Machining, or maybe Chief Manufacturing it's called, but they have a center cap, because the Method center caps are like that old school, like American racing looking goofy center caps. So we will not be doing those. The other thing I forgot, I'm going to wipe the soap off of the white letters on the back. Some certain angles you can still see the soap. So because these are brand new and they're a satin finish, I find there's really no need to clay it or polish, certainly not polish it. You just coat it and they'll stay cleaner for longer and be easier to clean up in general. Let's do that. I'm gonna clean the white lettering off here. Gotta take the stickers off too. Let's just go directly on here. It's funny that they still do white walls. Well, not white walls, but white lettering. I don't know why it's funny to me, but it seems funny. One more little. Really didn't clean up very well, but we'll just leave it at that. All right, that was actually easier than I was planning. Easier than I thought it would be. All right, I'm gonna take these off now, so I'm not fingering the wheels after the fact. So these are 325, 65, 18. I like to keep meat, so I don't like to go on a Raptor until up to 20s or 21s. I like to stay, I go one size up from OE. That way you get to maintain the same overall diameter. Gosh, these look funky. These tires really need some deep cleaning, but I'll have to do it after the fact. I'm gonna try these with some mineral spirits. I think these need a little extra. Let's do this. Let's take some shop towels, soak it down a bit. Really soak this down. Yeah, that's not working for squat. Let's do this. Okay, that looks better. Again, I like stoners more. I feel like this dries the tires out. I feel like the tires accept the tire dressing better. Just stoners, but these were looking pretty white and yucky. That's the technical term, yucky. Okay, so let's pull these off. Again, I'm going to take these zinc bolts. put on the stainless ones that I have. And there's like a freaking billion of them. It's kind of an ironic name. It's called odorless mineral spirits, but it smells like something. So I'll just move these over to the other set, and we'll sell the other set to somebody who's looking for a good deal. These are obviously just cosmetic. Okay, let's do one more little spray here, and we're ready to coat. Call me a slacker, but I'm not going to denib the other side, just the outside, not the inside. Okay, this is CarPro Eraser, like normal. I'm gonna grab a little applicator. We're gonna go to town. Coating these up. Single coat of CSL, 2 coats of XO V4. So what I'll probably do today I'll do the CSL layer, and tomorrow we'll do the XO. The only thing, is there oil inside of these things? I don't think so. I already have a bottle of CSL. Just check. I don't see anything floating around in there, so that means we're still good. We got a little bit of a extra oversized suede. I'm going to apply the coating. I love doing a coating on a satin finish. It doesn't add any sheen to it, it just makes it look rich. Deep and rich looking. Nice, the black valve stems, black wheel weights. These look good. So doing this is not difficult at all. Just wipe it on. Make sure it looks like you got it all over the place evenly. And then we'll wipe it off. It's that simple. A lug area. And so doing all this prep work just makes it easier in the future to maintain them. Or in the Raptor's case for me, not maintain them. I don't normally use this big of a piece of suede, but I'm finding this is easier and I won't drop it. You know, satin wheels like this will seem to kind of take on more of the product than a gloss finish will. So remember, CSL won't layer on top of itself. So putting a second coat doesn't do you any good. There's really no such thing as putting a second coat on. And so these black towels here I'm about to cycle through, throw them away, and get a new set because I've been using them for a long time. So I'm just going to use those to wipe the coating, and then I'll just toss it. Okay. While that's flashing, I'm going to knock out the other side real fast. There really is no flash time on CSL. Crystal Serum Light. The back side of the face. Gosh, he's looking better without the bolts. I should just leave them out. And now, the way you know what you're doing here is any high spots, meaning anything shiny, means that you need to level it. So again, I'm not going after this trying to buff it off. I'm just going after this, attempting to level it all out so there aren't any heavy, shiny, streaky spots that will dry and leave you with an undesirable finish. So make sure you stay somewhat organized. Work your way through methodically here. CSL, you don't need to rush. Yeah, I think on the truck tires, I'd probably just rather use the mineral spirits. On smaller tires, I can usually just spray it on the towel. It'll be fine. But on these giant tires, I have to work it a lot more. Here we go, prepped. All right, so I'm gonna do that same process for the other wheels and tires. And I'll come back to you when it's time to do XO. I'll probably just let this sit overnight and do the remainder tomorrow. All right, while that's doing that, let's check our tire pressures. So this is a little silent piston compressor with this crappy hose, so I won't be selling this hose. And then the Akira one with the new lock-on chuck. So let's get our pressure set up. I think I'd run at like 40 PSI on the Raptor. Oh, that fitting's awesome. Snaps on. Yeah, see, we're at 61 PSI. Need to come down. It purges out the back here. It's gonna take a little while. Probably quicker to just, I don't have the tool. It'd be quicker to just take the darn valve stem off. 45, jeez. Wow. Need to really air these puppies down. 39.8, 40. Okay, next tire. All right, it's like 7 o'clock. Next step is XO. So he's been sitting here all day. And grab the first wheel and we'll work through a coat of XO on all of these. Let's make this a little bit easier. Let's put the lift down. That'll do it. It's way smarter than trying to lift these things up. All right, so XO application goes on just like CSL, and what XO does is adds some hydrophobics to our equation. So we've had a good, since this wheel, it's like 7 p.m. So I did this wheel at like 9 o'clock this morning. So we've got plenty of curing time. I like to give it at least 3 hours, but a lot of times I'll wait overnight. But I'd like to get a coat on this now. That way I could finish it up tomorrow, get the second coat, and then put the wheels on. So we're gonna do 2 coats of XO version 4. And then we'll take the old wheels off the truck one at a time. I'll bring it in here and put them on one at a time while taking off the stainless bolts off the old wheels, putting them on the new. So if you're local to me here and you want the old, they're Method NV, and they're 18 by 8, same thing as these. 18 by 8 plus 18 is the offset. It's a Raptor offset. And then the tires on it are 325, 65, 18, which is within a fraction of an inch of the same overall diameter as a stock 17. Stock 17s are 315, 70, 17, where these are 325, 65, 18. Shoot, how am I gonna get under here? I have to actually bend down. Oh boy. So I'll be selling those at a deep discount. The tires are okay. They're in good shape. They need to be rotated. So since I decided to do new wheels in this refresh, I decided to get new tires. The tires that are on the wheels are starting to get a little noisy. XO is a little more difficult to remove than CSL, but also is a little easier to see which areas you've done and which you haven't. It goes on quite a bit thicker. And will leave your satin black a little bit sheen. There's a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's a rich, deep sheen. I wouldn't call it shine. It's not just making it shiny, but it is making it look very finished. There's actually more payoff to putting on the XO than there is the CSL step. And I like to do 2 coats. And so if I get a quick coat on here before I leave tonight, then I can add another quick coat in the morning and the wheels will be done. And I can dress the tires and then mount them. It's one of the funniest comments, a subset of comments, are all the geniuses who watched me when I'd never mounted a set of 100-pound wheels before. And so I did it on the lift, on this lift. I didn't have any cabinets or anything. And I'm just trying to figure it out. And so I shared the first wheel, trying to hoist it up there and figure out how to do it while talking on camera and watching all the know-it-alls tell me how much I suck. It's kind of funny. Yeah, that looks really good. Wait till we dress the tires with the new OG tire dressing coming. Problem is I can't get any darn bottles because of the virus. It's like all the cleaning companies, any company that sells any bottles or cleaning supplies is overwhelmed with orders. Good for them. It's a bit of a boom in certain areas of the economy, but in general, it's a bust in most places. Luckily for us, we keep clipping along. So that's it. That's your XO. We'll let that cure. You could go and put another layer on here. I'm not going to right away. I'm going to let it cure, let it set up, and then hit up another coat tomorrow morning. I'll see you then. All right, let's finish these wheels up. So last night I went home. I took the old stainless bolts, or the stainless bolts off the old wheels, put the zinc bolts on the back on the old wheels, and now we'll set this wheel up, and then we'll finish with a second coat of XO and then dress the tires, and we're done. I've already aired them all down to a proper 40 psi. Yeah, they were at like 62, 63 psi, something like that. Look how much better these stainless bolts look. So if you have Method wheels and you want these, you have to get them from, the only place I've found them is from Method. I searched like McMaster-Carr and all kinds of places. It's just such a short, weird little bolt. I think they have them machined. Then when I pull the wheels off the truck, we'll do the I'll pull the SVT center caps, the flush center caps off, and then we'll put them on the truck. Rex is washing the truck on Wednesday, so I'll put them on then, maybe Thursday morning. Got a lot to do here today. I'm gonna build the shelving for this side. I probably won't get to it today, but I got the scaffolding here. Got to get the hose reels mounted. Still putting together our Tecton tool package so that way we can do tool grid in the S9 or S12 box. And then press saws on the agenda for today as well. Go get it from storage, shoot the video talking about it, and get it back up in the store. Finish out March strong. This is gonna take a while to do all these bolts. So what happens with the zinc bolts is they eventually rust. But the stainless do not. I'll just take this guy and put him in. This actually needs a little more torque. Now, problem is I have 4 of these up here. If I have enough room to get the inside of the wheel. It's too darn heavy to just flip around. I have to just get skinny. Oh shoot, I can't get in here. Alright, that's good. Yeah. Alright, now comes the fun part. Problem is, I forgot the bigger bottle at home, rushing out of there. So just do a couple of squirts. Don't spray it all over the tire. Now this stuff is pretty thick. And if you're not familiar, I'm coming out with an Obsessed Garage tire dressing. My buddy Scott discovered this stuff. So it's in production right now. We have a tote coming. Then we gotta figure out how to bottle it. So on truck tires, especially the first application, it always takes me a little bit of effort to get it. And all these little tight little areas, these little knobs. So what I want to do with this, I'm gonna put it on, leave it for like, I don't know, I'll leave it for 20 or 30 minutes on here, and then I'll come and wipe the excess off. What I found is that it doesn't, leaving it on doesn't make it shiny. This is like, you'd have to put all kinds of layers on to make it shiny. It's almost impossible to shine it up, which is what I like. I don't want shiny, I don't want goopy, I don't want any extra. Just want it to be flat and black. So expect similar longevity to pearl. The main purpose of this is not to be permanent. I mean, permanent would be great, but can't have both, I've found. This is just a really good really deep, dark looking tire dressing. I'm in love with it. And man, it's literally the best smelling stuff I've got. I don't know what the heck this scent is, but it's awesome. This is gonna take forever to do these darn wheels. And get these last ones done. So I'm spraying the wheel. I'm really interested to see how this does on the truck tires. I was looking at the K02s on the old wheels. I don't know how many miles are on them, but it's not a lot. I wish I didn't buy new ones. If I wasn't so darn lazy, I would have just gone and swapped them over. Okay, so let that sit there. I'll probably come wipe it off after I finish the next wheel. And we'll show you the result and we'll wrap this up. Whatever amount of time it took me to do that other wheel. So now I come back. It's real thick. And I'm just gonna wipe it flat. It's almost kind of like a gel-like consistency. And I'm just gonna go on and wipe off all the excess. And that makes our tire look nice and black. Simple. No shiny, no slinging, just basic black rubber dressed tire. Looks like when you coat trim, you know, looks like that. Yeah, love it. Yeah, it looks great on these big tires. Now, if you wanted it shinier, you could go put another coat on, but I don't. So let's take a look. Let's put this on the ground. All right, that's a wrap. There we go. Looks freaking awesome. There's a couple little extra spots that'll dry. They look a little shiny. Man, it looks so good. All right, we'll get you another video here coming up when I put them on. Or later this week, maybe this weekend. Anyway, thanks for watching. Crystal Serum Light, 2 coats of XO. Test Garage tire dressing. Should be here in about a month. Thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. Catch you on the next one.